Thank you for listening. My name is Mike Strauss, A.K.A. Strauss21. I'm a mixed martial arts journalist. I currently contribute to BJPenn.com, Low Kick MMA, CageSidePress.com. You could find my work there as well as my YouTube channel at A.K.A. Strauss21. And of course, the Did You See That Shit Mixed Martial Arts podcast that you are listening to right now. Here is my latest interview. I hope you enjoy it. I want to welcome back Juan the Kraken Adams to the show. 26 years old, 4-0, and he's officially making his UFC debut in just about a week. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just handling the weight cut.
For people that don't know you, shame on them. You're Juan Adams. You, in my opinion, you are the future of the UFC's heavyweight division. But you're obviously, as we said, you're a big man here. 265 pounds is the cutoff. If you don't mind me asking, how much weight do you have to cut? Because you're a big dude. You're like 6'5", right?
Yeah, I'm 6'5". The morning of my Contender Series fight, before breakfast, I weighed 283. About 2 weeks after, I was 305, and my trainer told me I was fat and I needed to lose some weight. So we got down to 255, and about a week after we got to 295, we got the call for the fight. So right now I'm sitting at 281. We're gonna start our water cut, cut out the sodium in the next couple of days here, and hopefully, I'll make that 266. We get 1 pound since it's not a title fight, so we use that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you look phenomenal, man. I follow you on social media, and you look like you're in tip-top shape. So I don't see that being an issue for you making weight. You're just about a week away from making your official debut. Is there any extra nerves, man, or is it just business as usual for you?
It's really business as usual for me. I don't get nervous. I get most nervous, and so in that from 8 weeks out to about 4 weeks out is when I'm real nervous, because that's the point where, like, man, I'm doing all this work. I really hope the other guy doesn't get injured. I hope I don't get injured. I don't want to push it too hard. I don't want to hurt myself. But once we're in that last 3 weeks, man, I trust the training. I'm counting down the workouts now, and I'm just ready to go. So I know when it's time to go, my training will take over. It's nowhere I haven't been before. Like I said, I wrestled Division One. It's nothing that I can't handle. It's nothing new to me. Being in the spotlight is nothing new. And I'm just gonna go out there and I'm gonna perform. This is my job, and I'm gonna do my job.
Now, you're relatively young in your mixed martial arts career. Did you even surprise yourself at how quickly you've made it to the big stage, man?
Yeah, I did. We all knew it was going to be quick, but we were predicting, summer of 2019 actually is when I would get my chance, get my opportunity, and we thought it was going to be a short notice fight. But with Contender Series, even, we thought, just because of the sheer number of fights that I'd had, that I was going to probably get a developmental contract if I won, or just be on the short replacement list if I won. But we didn't think I would get an outright contract. But my performance spoke for itself, and we just keep training. We make improvements fight to fight. And it's really funny, at the beginning of this year when I was writing down, my goals for 2018, I was just a 2-0 pro. I just cracked the top 5 in Texas rankings. And, there was a couple people that had me on prospect lists and, ranked me pretty highly. But my goal was to either make my UFC debut or be 5-0 as a pro by the end of 2018. And, December 15th, I get the chance to do both. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, it looks like you're gonna hit both, and then you're gonna be ahead of schedule too with making it to the UFC. So, December 15th is just about a week away. Your opponent, Chris De La Rocha, he's a super tough. He's a really durable guy. Juan, are you a guy that likes to study your opponents, or do you just kind of let your coaches handle all that?
I let my coaches handle it. I watch. If they say there's something I need to watch, I watch it. But the way I see it is, it's not really in my nature to want to fight somebody. It's I fight to kind of vent my frustrations with humanity as a whole. So my opponent out there, I don't like thinking too much about him or, humanizing him too much. He just goes out there. He's a scapegoat for all my frustrations. He's so in my head. I get in a different state of mind when I go fight. You can even tell in my interviews. If you interview me like right after a fight, it's going to be very different than you give me 30 minutes to relax and cool down a little bit. So, yeah. Well, so when I'm out there, I don't want to think about them at all.
Mhm.
I just want to go out there and do my job.
So, like looking back here, man, when you look at the heavyweight division, I mean, besides yourself now, let's take Juan Adams out of the equation. Who do you really see that's going to be kind of running that division in the next, let's say, 5 years?
Next 5 years, I mean, when you look at the top, I look at the top 7 or 8. I don't view anyone outside of the top 7 or 8 as a legitimate threat. I think other than those 7 guys up there at the top, I think that it's a pretty shallow division. But I look at Curtis Blaydes. Obviously, he had a minor setback, but he's still, he's only lost to one guy in the UFC. So you can't ever in as little as 2 years. He'll still be in top 5. He might even be the champion at that point. Cormier is retiring soon. There's a lot of age up there. I think Overeem might have one more title run in him before he stops. And Derek, you never know. Some interviews he's saying he's going to retire. Other times he's all about it, ready to go for him. Next thing you know, he's got a title shot. But even the guy that Derek just beat before Cormier,
Volkov, yeah.
He's a younger guy too. So I see, those younger guys up there in the next 3 to 5 years. Junior Dos Santos is back. I'd like to see. It's interesting to see where he's going to go and how much longer he's going to do it. But he looked really good in his last fight, and he showed that, like I said, outside the top 7 or 8, there's a huge drop-off in talent. So I'm not super concerned about anyone below that. And then in the top 7 or 8, I don't really look at those guys because it's not a realistic fight for me. That won't happen for another 2 years at the earliest. So those guys, I see it being Curtis. I think Ngannou, he'll be around, but I don't feel like he'll be a legitimate title contender. Stipe Miocic, he's not old. He's got, I think he's got 3 or 4 more years left in him to really be a legitimate title, like in the title picture.
Mm-hmm.
And even after that, he's so much better than most of the other guys. He'll still be a top 7 or 8 guy for years to come. So those, kind of the way it is, minus Cormier, Derek, I don't think will be there 5 years from now. And depending on like Ngannou's in control of his own fate, but that same top, I think he's going to be there for a really long time. I don't see any younger guys, minus myself, really making a surge or a push to be up there.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. You mentioned Curtis Blaydes a couple times. That's a guy, of course, that you've had an opportunity to train with before on a few occasions. You guys are pretty close there. How was your camp this time around for your fight coming up here in Milwaukee?
I ran my camp a little differently this time. I had a lot wider variety of sparring partners. I just wanted to see different things being thrown at me. And, the way I saw it is this is a huge step up in competition for me just by being in the UFC alone. So what I had to do is, really kind of deviate from what I always do. I went and instead of doing my normal process where I would go around, where I would just go and spar with the same people, do my pads 3 times a week, wrestle twice a week, doing jiu-jitsu once a week. I really went out of my way to get new looks this time around. So I went to Main Street Boxing and, I was sparring with pro boxers, just boxing, working on, seeing different things coming at me. It's a different level of hand speed. It's a different level of technique. So that prepared me a lot better. I went against more higher level jiu-jitsu guys, and it's not going into each of these environments expecting to win. You have to go in there kind of knowing you're going to take a little bit of a beating. You're going to be worn down, but it's going to pay off because when you do go and you can put it all together, your level in each of the individual aspects of mixed martial arts will increase. So And then I put open invites out there for people to come spar with me. Guys that are in the UFC right now. I had Trevin Giles come spar with me. Justin Ledet sparred with me. Bubba McDaniel, even though he's not currently in the UFC, he's fought there before. He came and sparred with me. And, just a lot of guys like that came down, helped me out. A lot of other really high-level local guys sparred with me too. Larry Crow, CJ Hancock, guys like that have had, real veterans of the sport, been around it for a while, came in and worked with me. And, it didn't matter that, it was my third or fourth workout of the day. I didn't go in there with the expectation to win every round of sparring. I went in there to grow as a martial artist.
That's what it's about, man. Well, I can't wait. I think that the UFC Milwaukee, it's a very, very solid card all the way through. And it's a historical card, man, because it's going to be the last Fox card ever, and you're going to be a part of it. I will be there covering it because it's in my neck of the woods. I'm out of Chicago, and it's just about an hour and a half drive from me. So I'll be there. We'll finally have a chance to meet face-to-face, man. I'd like to give you a few minutes here to shout out your coaches, sponsors, whatever you'd like, man. The floor is yours, Juan.
Awesome. First and foremost, I want to shout out Ryan Casey Baker. On paper, he's my strength and conditioning coach, but he will be in my corner. He does a little bit of everything with me, from, working pads, incorporating pad work into my training sessions, incorporating, wrestling type movements, incorporating throws, slams, groundwork, everything. He's worked with me, and then pulling me aside individually. If I can't find someone to roll with me, he'll open up a gym and we'll go over jiu-jitsu techniques and stuff like that. So I cannot express how valuable that is to have someone plus strength and conditioning be the guy in charge of my strength and conditioning protocol. I mean, it's irreplaceable. And then Jeremy Laughlin, he's my main strategist, or he's the guy who does most of the talking in the corner for my fights. He's been with me from day one. And then Coach Kelly, he's my primary striking coach. Guys, and then everyone over, Leroy Vasquez over at my home gym, the Paradigm. That's where I do my sparring. It's kind of the base of where I do everything. It's a central location for everyone. And then Paradigm Training Center and the Fight Lab. And then my sponsors, first and foremost, got to thank my biggest sponsors, the guys that have been there from the beginning, Jet Hot Premium Coatings, and my newest sponsor, of course, Rhino Pro Truck Bed Liners. Those guys, they're my newest ones. They've been invaluable. So, and on top of them, then we've got FlemingAttorneys.com. And let's see. I don't want to forget anyone here.
No, I hear you.
I think it's just those three for right now. Yeah, JetHot.com, JetHot, FlemingAttorneys.com, Rhino Pro Truck Bed Liners, and Loaded Pistols apparel. They make the best stuff in MMA gear. They always hook me up with some cool stuff, cool designs. So big shout out to those guys. And that's about it.
All right. Well, I always appreciate you taking some time and speaking with me, Juan. It's just, man, like I said, it's about a week away here, and I can't wait. It's going to be a big night of fights, and maybe none bigger than yours, man, because you're making your official UFC debut, and I really believe that in these next few years, man, no one's going to be able to say the UFC heavyweight title without mentioning your name, because you're going to be a contender, no doubt.
Oh, definitely, man. It's the beginning of an era, and I just want to thank the UFC, obviously, but also, say you're welcome to all the fans, because I'm the answer to what you guys have been waiting for.
Well, I can't wait, man, and then we'll get to meet each other face to face too. So that'll be a little extra bonus. I can't wait. Take care, Juan. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.